AM News. To all Teleradio Bandido viewers and listeners, you can now watch Teleradio Bandido on our new YouTube channel, RJAM News. Hit the subscribe button and like the video. Don't forget to click the bell icon so you get notified when a new video gets uploaded. Don't miss out on our dynamite lineup.
Alright, so GCQ na, di ba? But I'm so sad to share with you. O, di ba, ganyan ang sad. I'm so sad to share with you that we are back to 6,258 cases as of yesterday. Bumaba na tayo ng 4,000, guys. And our goal is zero COVID, okay? You know what? I see all these prayers on Facebook that us pray that we will be safe from COVID. But you know, the prayer that we must be praying is hindi sa lang mawala ang COVID, but we have to also pray for that we will apply our God-given smarts, because as I keep saying since day one, COVID is mostly behavioral, okay? So wala talagang excuse because all of us are blessed with that thinking brain, okay? So anyhow, brown cow, before we start and roll the show, I'd like first to greet everyone. Magandang gabi sana to everyone. And I know that in some parts of the world, diba, like in Israel, in Palestine, conflict is going on there. So of course, if it's not magandang gabi for everyone, if it's not a great night for everyone or a great day, let us pray that there will be peace on earth and love all around, so that we can truly feel the meaning of good morning, good evening, and have a nice day. Tama? So to play to the corners of the world where there is conflict, we pray for peace to all of you there, including sa atin. Diba? Because we are also, our sovereignty is threatened each day. That is also a sad fact for us, okay? So anyway, I'd like to welcome everyone. I'm DJ Chin. This is my show, Good, Great, Unstoppable, the Francine de las Alas Show, and we broadcast live from DZRJ 8:10 a.m. every single Saturdays. So you can also catch us at TV Plus Boxes and our YouTube channel. That's RJ News PH. And because we are also in social media, we would like to ask everyone to please like, share our page, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel, okay? Because you might just be finding yourself in the show that you could and want to enjoy forever, okay? So again, RJ News PH, subscribe so that you can be notified of fresh shows each day. All right, anyway, guys, guess what? 15 pounds off. And I'm so happy to share that because I have managed to maintain the 15 pounds off since I started our version of intermittent fasting. Okay, I had to stop for a while, so I'm gonna admit that, because I had I had 2 weeks of brain fog. And brain fog, if you don't know what that is actually having problems with focusing or memory or logic or problem solving, according to medicinenet.com. But in my case, it was forgetfulness, and my attention was short-lived, so it became sort of like worrisome. I realized something was wrong because I was forgetting so many things in just a short span of time, tas hindi ko talaga siya maalala. So it was like, so there were also some moments where I found myself feeling that I was relearning simple tasks, including frying an egg or doing scrambled egg. Ganon yung brain fog. So it's kind of weird, and I guess it's very important that we are self-aware, so we can also know what to do if we ever get in that situation. So it was a very strange experience for me. Fortunately, diba, that learning is right up my alley. So I first ticked off the boxes, put a program for me for relearning and rewiring. So, and also provided solutions in case I need to go to the doctor. Baka mamaya hindi pala siya brain fog from dieting, 'di ba? Fortunately, it was. And you know what? What happened was many of the noises in my head also quieted down. Maybe I think one of the wirings got disconnected, and when I rewired it, hindi na nasama yung mga ibang noise and memory. So I actually enjoy it, but now I'm rebuilding the wires every day. I still do a lot of sort of like recall exercises and learning exercises. So that's what happened to me. That's why I had to for cut short that time. I think I only went on IF for about 3 weeks or 4 weeks. So I had to stop first so that I can rebuild my, I can fix my brain fog, right? I can fix my brain fog, and then of course I wasn't gonna make that as an excuse for my weight loss program because being overweight is still unhealthy, diba? I don't care about body shaming because the body shaming for me, if somebody says, hey, bakit ang taba-taba mo na? It's true, diba? And I don't, if they tell me that, I usually, my go-to is, wait, the message is I'm not healthy. The message is I'm actually not disciplined, diba? I tend to overeat. I have very poor health and eating habits. So I have to fix that. So again, so even with that brain fog, it really wasn't an excuse for me. So I went back 2 weeks ago. And I'm so proud because when I weighed this morning, so 2 weeks back, diba, I started 2 weeks ago, then I decided to weigh because I'm entering the second phase of my weight loss program. I saw that I was able to maintain the 15 pounds I shed off last February. So now I don't have to start from day one or from the heavy guts. I can begin from the less 15 pounds. And that is a good starting point, diba? It boosts, nakaka-boost ng moral, diba? It also validates that I know what I am doing, and it's also empowering because I am able to beat my demons and dramas. And I encourage everyone talaga, guys, to please pick up a healthy goal, whether it's in finances, whether it's in business, whether it's personal development, spiritual development, health goals, money goals, relationship goals, family goals. Pick up one so that you can get to great point A's, awesome point B's, mind-blowing point C's, di ba? Sobrang saya talaga ng journey na yon. So, now that I am on to now that I know my weight, I actually did that because I'm going on to the next leg, which is meal replacement. And so far, easy peasy because I know how to work I know how to work myself into the habit and put in the habit in my system. I've started actually nutri meal replacement. So that means that my first meal of the day after I do intermittent fasting after 22 hours is nutri meal, and then 2 hours later it's followed. Right now the first time I went back, it's followed by any meal that I want and how and quantity or portions that I want. But now I'm after the nutri meal this week, so I'm continuing that. I'm now going into the next phase, which is vegetables and every kind of meat that I like, and maybe fish. Maybe fish will come in the third week. So I really hope that I can with this next phase, right? Lose the next targets, next pound targets, so guys, pray for me, diba? This because every time I learn, I share it with you guys. So anyway, here is my takeaway. That's why am I sharing this with you? I have been doing self development studies personal on my own, diba? Because I like walk the talk. And what I can tell you is universally, guys, It is never about the plan. You can have so many diet plans and all of them will be great, but if you don't help yourself into it, you will never really succeed. That's why you only end up with 1 second New Year's resolution each time kasi you don't show up. Okay, or none of us show up. I was also like that before, way before I became, my own self development expert. Anyway, so if you want to lose weight, okay, in this case, put yourself in the plan and every step of the way. You will always be the key to your greatness. I promise you that. Earlier I actually found also an article on Google. You can Google it and uh, the title is restarting your diet plan. And one of the tips mentioned there is if you fail, right? If you fail, let's say you started dieting and then you on your cheat and then you started dieting for 3 days or 5 days and then assigned 6 day as the cheat meal. Often when we don't have the habit in us or when we just jump into the program without really fully understanding what part of us we have to fix, often from that cheat we don't recover from that cheat day. So and we become so hard on ourselves, and most of the time parang because we become so hard on ourselves we feel like a failure. It becomes an all or nothing game plan. So here's what it said, and what that article said, and what I am also going and based also from my experience. It's not an all or nothing thing, right? If you have been, cutting down on your carbs, cutting down on your sugar for 3 days, or cutting down on your meals or calorie portions, let's say 3 straight days, and then you end up eating on the fourth day. Make that as a matter of fact day because it is part of your learning curve. Diba? Don't feel bad that you failed there. It's not a failure because for one thing, it is a wiring, diba? Your program since you were a baby, diba? The first thing that was given to you was either the tit of your mom or a feeding bottle, and you have been soothing yourself with food ever since you were a baby. So that's such a hard wiring to disconnect, diba? And it's an absent wiring to it's a hard absent wiring to build. So instead, what you can do just like the next day begin again with maybe something easier, or if you can begin from pick up from where you left off during your on the last day of your diet before you crashed, pick up from there, diba? Then just move on. That's actually what I do. And you know what? In fact, now in my diet, guys, at night I eat rice. I eat rice. I eat adobo. Diba? That's because it's not yet part of my program. So okay. So but now I'm finally entering the salads salad dinner phase. Diba? I'm gonna do it for 5 straight days this week, and I don't know what I'm going to do on the sixth day. But nevertheless, right, it's been successful. Me showing up has been successful with a plan, and if I can do it, you guys can also do it. Okay. So speaking of anyone can do it. I'm so proud, of my hubby love because he has finally allowed himself to show up in our USANA goals. So to all my hubby love, George, I'm so proud of you. I hope you feel that and know that, diba? I really see the joy in you, and I love watching I love watching that joy, and I love watching your eyes sparkle with it. Okay. So anyway, my hubby love has finally allowed himself to show up for our USANA goals, and I love it because it's so easy to tell that he is also so proud and so pleased with himself and the results because he tends to become so bubbly and about every milestone he makes, whether it's just invite going out of his comfort zone and or beating his demons and dramas, and or if it's not and along with that bubbliness, as I said, his eyes also sparkle. For us wives and spouses, it's very important that when we are able to bring out right? The best in each other instead of putting each other down. And when we are able to bring out the best in each other, there is an extra form of energy, a different kind of positivity that fills up the room. Not just the typical positivity. You know that it's sort of like a calming energy. Diba? Something, and it's not that that calming energy is not there. It's just that it gets eclipsed by our defeating demons and dramas that we play out every day. But once we allow ourselves, diba, with the help of our spouses, if we allow with the help of our spouses, or once our spouses allow themselves to be also be brought to their best selves, that energy, that negative energy or that demon syndrome just instantly lifts diba, away, and then that blanket of uh, calming, soothing, and reassuring energy suddenly just gets uncovered. So that's the kind of energy that in a relationship, in a household, or in a home must have, diba? So I've never seen that joyful that joy in my husband in any job that he has taken. Maybe because the job is really the job was really to be is connected to the role of being a provider. Diba? And if you're a provider, and there's only one provider in the household, that's very tiring. Diba? That's very, very tiring. So, my husband pa naman tends to be dedicated and impeccable when it comes to his service. So, so even if if even if magaling siya and he is able to deliver, 'di ba? Yung joy niya parang natural, I guess parang natural na sa kanya yun kasi that's really is his character. But what is not natural for him, I guess, is going out of the comfort zone to go after different kinds of milestones and dreams that can't be provided by any of the job that he took, 'di ba? This one is we're talking about a financial freedom, yung you'll have peace of mind na, 'di ba? So even and that he can do his consultancy out of love for it, 'di ba? Not because it's also a bread and butter source. So that this weekend this week that passed, I saw how bubbly he was, how happy he was, how proud he was, and I saw how much his soul shone, 'di ba? Through the happiness he exhibited and through his eyes. So to my hubby love out there, and to all the husband and wives, girlfriend and boyfriends, 'di ba? If one of you is the go-getter, as I said, right? The go-getter in the family, don't shoot them down. Basta legal, moral, ethical. Diba? Legal, moral, ethical, and especially if it's in our industry na sobrang ganda naman ng company na sinamahan. Don't ever tell your partner, tigilan mo yan. Kasi in the first place, yung taong nagsabing tigilan mo yan, kaya mo bang ibigay yung time freedom or financial freedom, peace of mind na gustong makamit ng isang partner. So if I were you, to all the couples out there, bring out instead the best in each other. Okay? So, to my hubby love, again, I'm really proud of you. Uh, so I'm really, really very, very proud of you. Okay? So, tatapusin na muna tayo. There's still part of that segment that I wrote there. Maybe I should say that because I saw a line. Anyway, so to anyone who's out there, again, what this showed us is it's never the plan. Okay? It's always ultimately us, tayo ang susi. We are the key to our own growth and successes. So to all the guys who have dreams, better life, better health, more happiness, or whatever that is that you want to be, do, and have, just start and stay the course. I guarantee you, if you keep breaking through your excuses and limitations, you will also feel empowered, happy, confident, and you will learn and learn and learn from your mistakes, and then you could also end up getting the results or the many results that you want. Okay? So keep moving forward, keep bringing out the best in yourself, and keep showing up. See, same thing. When you, it's a universal lesson, whether it's a diet goal, it's financial wellness goal, diba? Or it's a business goal or career goal, it's the same thing. We have to show up. Okay. So speaking of showing up, Abby and I were at the office earlier today to pick up our products, but we also had to fix our free Valley for Two incentive. So we had to make it official. Uh, I made um I made a boo-boo. Fortunately, it's fixable. Let's hope, okay? We are waiting word from the corporate and mukha naman that the problem is elementary and they have encountered it, and I think I think and I hope that this gets fixed so that we can move forward stronger. But you know what, guys? Another the reason why I'm sharing this with you because every time I encounter I live my life intentionally and purposefully. Okay, I don't squander my minute. I don't squander my talent. I don't squander my gift. I always everything that I do is since it's purposeful, or intentional. I see easily where the mistakes are made and where the improvement has to be done. And I also, of course, see my wins. Pero ito, guys, itong bali na to, what happened today was because we had to fix it. This is a perfect example of living intentionally and living intentionally and what it can do for you, diba? If we are purposefully living. One of the things that I learned here is because I made the boo boo, I was concentrating on the points. I forgot that it's supposed to be the one all the names that we bring in should be, or all the distributors that we bring in should be under our sponsorship. And I made the last 300 points and placed it under the sponsorship of her husband. So of her husband, and these were basically I invited them. So I invited them. So some of the products were ordered there. So the sponsorship, the sponsorship was given to just this. It was like a gift, okay? So anyway, but dapat kami yung sponsor. So anyway, we made that mistake. It had to be corrected. But here's what I learned. It's really very important that we are all braced under pressure. Diba? Can you imagine mawawala yung bali sa amin? Diba? And because my husband tends to be masungit, diba? And fortunately, the last few weeks, especially actually the last 2 3 months, has been really, really, really different. Diba? He doesn't have that short fuse. Parang naka-off na siya permanently. So, and he's much, he joke, ayun po, parang mas bumalik kami sa pagka-college. We're joking around all the time. But, yun nga. So, it's both of us, diba? It's really very important that everyone, when you are placed in a situation that categorically speaking, okay, that you are we are all graced under pressure because it gives us the clarity on what we need to fix. Diba? We're able to identify the problem right away as well as the solutions. So aside from that quote also, one of the things that I also hit me today is the quote that goes, early bird catches the early worms. Alam niyo ba, guys, no one in our family except my dad and my son and my children, they are always punctual, and my husband, okay? Pero kami mga girls at mga magkakapatid and mga mommy, hindi, di ba? So I got used to waking up late, not purposeless day, so to speak. So, but one of the success habits that I have been able to develop, especially recently, is respect for time. Okay, I have been teaching myself to wake up early, get up right away, and be punctual. So today, I can't thank that success habit enough because I really planned to leave or to get up early, and so that we can leave early, so that we can be in the office early. Because I really don't like lining up for a long time. For me, it's a waste of time. So I go there so that there is just one or two of us claiming the product. So kasi maaga pa. So that was the main purpose. And the second purpose was just to follow equal purpose was just to follow up the email that we sent requesting for change of sponsorship. It's a good thing that we were there early because we had enough time to manage that situation. So we were able to submit everything. Turns out there was something that we had to do pa pala that we did not know, and we were able to change it to submit everything ahead of the cutoff. And the corporate was actually able to look at our email and bring us a bit of more parang peace of mind good news. So mukhang magagawa naman siya. Pero if that, let's say, we came in at 11 o'clock or 11:30 or 12 even, and then we had to line up pa, and before we could fix that, I don't think we would have made the deadline for the any request for the Bali changes. So because we were graced under pressure and we were punctual. We got some good news, diba? We're just waiting for the official email. So because we were so happy, we ended up shopping na lang after. O, diba? It was a time to celebrate. But my point is, guys, my point is my point is, remember that you will also have situations, grace under pressure in your office. Categorically speaking, that grace under pressure will be called upon. So remember that every day this is a practice that you can master. So that anytime, 'di ba, merong sitwasyon sa opisina or sa bahay, 'di ba, that you can be useful, 'di ba? Kaya mo mag-identify ng problema at mag-solve ng problema right away. And then second, of course, one of the success habit that you have to build is waking up early, getting up right away, not hitting that snooze button, and being punctual. So sobrang happy ako kasi more or less, 'di ba? Pag na-late ako mga 5 minutes na lang, hindi 30 minutes at hindi 40 minutes or minsan never. Pangit kaya yun. So anyway, I'm really such a late bloomer. So kung mga late bloomers dyan, hello! Di ba? So what else? Anyway, so ano pang kwento ko sa inyo? Anyway, I was Googling earlier pala. Actually, last night pa. There was actually one of the segment. I was actually going to talk about Nora Honor. Actually, I learned that she is a reluctant blogger. She's 68 na pala, and she has this blog about cooking, their family recipes, diba? From her childhood. So I want to see that because well, I'm a Noranian, but also a Vilmanian. But I think I'm more of a Vilmanian. But I also admire Nora. So wala naman akong hater dyan because I'm not a hater. So anyway, so I was looking for that. I was googling that this afternoon so that I can read it again and then maybe have time for a vlog. But I saw another more interesting topic that I really want to share with you kasi this is again right up my alley na makakatulong sa inyo. So, I was googling earlier for some small interesting topics. Small lang kasi short convo before. And I found this article entitled, "Is there a happiness equation?" Okay, it's interesting because my expertise, if you ask me, is on being happy. Okay, and here is what I found about and because of that, I found out most books or articles or studies that I have read, most of them is still looking at happiness from the same lens, di ba? So, parang it looks like an intelligent question about being happy. So, tama naman. Pero because their experience, but because their experience on being happy is very limited, they only get to ask questions based on that limitation. Okay? So, uh, so what this means, aside from that, it tells me that that many are not practitioners of happiness itself. Kasi yung mga tanong pa nila is that of parang, let's say, when Copernicus was looking at the night sky, 'di ba, and asking whether we are the center of the earth. Tayo ba yon? Si Copernicus ba yon? Parang gano'n. So, gano'n lang nila tinitingnan sa about being happy kasi their experience is limited and that's normal. That's very, very normal. We cannot ask anything that is absent of our experience and absent in our mind. So anyway, the downside of this though, 'di ba? If we continue, if we continue from the limited limited if we continue to be influenced by theory, right? And limited experience rather than the practice of being happy or about happiness 20 about or rather than the practice of happiness, parati itong we will this the in the okay, what do I want to say, that limitation will always influence the theory, 'di ba, or what we know, hanggang dun lang siya parate. So and in what I have found, even in the article, it's the happiness project, it's the exercises are very, very typical pare, very typical, but they're healthy because you have to do it every day, 'di ba? That is one actually universal law about being happy. You have to do it every day for you to gain it. That's one universe. That one they got it pat down. So what we need to add here is that what what I know about what I know. Here's what I want to know. Hold on, ah. I think I wanted to say so many things, but when I typed it here in my conversation, it became confusing. Sandali, ah. Here is the complete sentence. Okay, as I said, the downside of this perspective, limited perspective, is that it will always, diba, all our questions about happiness 24/7 will always be coming from the limited view and experience for it of it. So in other words, so any theory, right? Any theory that comes from that experience will also be limited or somewhat recycled. But here is what I want you to know. Okay? And here is what I want you to habituate. Make a practice, make it a being. 24/7 happiness is actually possible and certain for anyone who will make it an endeavor every day. So for anyone out there who seeks lasting happiness, go for it. Okay? Just make sure it is a healthy form of happiness, as a happiness, because if it were a selfish kind, karma is also fast. And one of the principle of being happy is that it's a self-protective mechanism. It will never ever thrive on anything bad. It will always break along the way. Okay? Now, so to answer this article, their thesis statement that is there a happiness equation? My answer is yes, there is. Okay? So I really want to be someday I'm gonna be writing a book on this, right? Maybe I want to. I don't know if I want to, but maybe a booklet so it's easier. Because I really want to share this. Para kaya lang by now, you know what? I know that people are so most of us are shut, 'di ba? Most of us are shut, so maybe there's really no need because so I don't want to waste my time on anything that will not be used or needed by the majority. So baka ang gusto lang karamihan kasi gusto ang kaya lang fleeting joy. 'Di ba? They like the hard stuff. So maybe the book will not be a thing. Maybe I will take this to my grave when I am 157 years old. 157 talaga. Anyway, so let's move on to our convo. It's 7:36. Okay, I have a very delicious topic for you guys. Okay, it's envy, inggit, green-eyed monster. So ang tanong, inggitera ka ba? Okay, actually tanong ko yung sarili ko all the time. So I do ask myself this question, and the answer is yes. Okay. And in our, I do envy others when they succeed, especially in our industry where success is felt and experienced daily or or weekly. So it's so easy for someone like me who's going after my dreams to be envious of others. And it's also easy for others to be more envious of others kung ang nakapaligid sa kanila ay puro winners, tapos ikaw parang di mo alam why you are not able to create a breakthrough. 'Di ba? So imagine mo lahat sila magagaling, ikaw hindi. So nakakababa ng self-esteem 'yon, right? But what makes my envy, 'di ba, different? Okay. I discovered today that there is a term for my kind of envy. I actually explained this kind of envy to someone 5 years ago in the business because somebody asked, paano nga bang envy, di ba? So I'm gonna be discussing it here. So I discovered today the term for this is called benign envy. Benign envy is a kind of envy that is more positive because than the two kinds of negative envy. So kasi benign envy is when you are motivated or you allow yourself to be motivated so you can also do better or become better for your own sake. Yan, o, diba? So kung inggitera ka, anong klase? Are you the negative kind or are you the positive kind? Are you the self-development kind of envy or are you the self-defeating kind of envy? So you ask yourself that. So anyway, I'm gonna give you an example. Okay, there is a friend of mine, a teammate actually, who is really a determined go-getter person, and she dove 8 weeks ago to go for the executive rank. So that's not easy because we are in an industry where people don't believe in themselves, 'di ba? Kahit nakaharap na sa kanila, yung pwedeng makapagbago ng buhay nila ay nako, uunahin pa rin silang kainin ng takot nila. So that's what makes this industry challenging. But, 'di ba? But we've learned to look at the perspective that, you know what, in actual life, there's only about what, 5% who will really be great and called upon to be great. Diba? Sabi nga sa Bible, many are chosen, but many are called, but few are chosen. So same goes in this industry. So this friend of mine dove into the executive ranks, and it goes for the next 13 weeks, and she's on her 8 weeks. But I didn't know that she did, so we would always meet every day. But when they finally announced it on the 4th week and the 5th week, I felt so wowed by it, and at the same time, I felt ako nainggit ako na parang pato ko hindi ako ganun. I wanna be like that, 'di ba? So so ako ganun ako para I wanna be like that. How can I be like that? So so eto na. So this person, I'm so proud of her because she's able to hit her goals week in, week out, 'di ba? So when I was already noticing when I saw that she was, winning every single week, and I was getting wowed by it, but at the same time feeling a tinge of envy. I also want to be like that. Pero wala akong envy sa kanya, ha. Ang envy ko lang is yung success, gusto ko magkaroon ng ganon. I want to feel that rush. I want to feel that high. So anyway, instead of just being a negative kind of envy, I instead decided that I'm going to ride on the breeze of her success. Yung, di ba, remember, parang when somebody is running fast, 'di ba? Or running fast, parang yung cartoons like si Roadrunner, right? Let's say you're standing and then Roadrunner passes in front of you na sobrang bilis, 'di ba? There's that wind, gush of wind you will feel. Success is like that also, especially in our industry. You will feel that breeze of success, 'di ba? Or that wind, the turbine of success pass you, right? And that's what and I feel that, and everyone in our team feels that, because success is common sa amin. But diba, I love that success is common sa amin. It's like It's like it happens from morning, from sun up to sundown, 'di ba? Saan ka naman nakakita ng success is not common outside, 'di ba? Dito it's common. That's why that turbine of happy energy, of success energy is continuously parang flowing. Parang siyang industrial electric fan. So, na mararamdaman mo talaga. So, so I know that I know and I recognize that I love the energy of success, and I love what it can do for me, right? So instead of going the other way of just of being a hater or a lurker, I decided, and I said, to ride on the breeze of her success, so I can also be inspired, so I can generate my own energy of success, diba? So if am able to generate my own energy of success, and I couple that kanyang success wind power pa, then that's going to, diba? That's going to really be more powerful. It can keep me standing and keep me looking for ways, or give me directions on where I should go and how I should do it, so I can constantly, diba? I can constantly hit my goals. So anyway, um, so week in, week out, because of that, I rode on her, diba, wind power, her success wind power, breeze power. I set the goals that would help me achieve my goals too. And because I looked up to her wins and wanted the same, I also found myself succeeding little by little in every task and plan that I had set myself out to do. And because of that, diba, 3 weeks ago also, when they started announcing it, announcing her executive run on the fourth week, I, 3 weeks later, I found myself hitting the Bali incentive pre-qualification. So that is benign envy. When you are able to motivate yourself and look at the beauty of the message of what you are envious about. Okay? Di ba ganda? Gusto mo rin bang mag-Bali incentive? Naiinggit ka ba and want to turn that inggit into something great? Or are you this kind of envy? The two kinds of a negative envy are, healthy envy are, of course, there's hostile envy, di ba? And depressed envy. Parehong pangit. Kaya lang yung isa passive, yung isa active. Hostile envy is an aggressive kind of envy. It is characterized often by anger, diba? And hostility towards the person or situational triggers. So it can be competitive to a harmful fault, both to the person na naiinggit at the person na kinaiinggitan. Buti ko hindi sila magkakilala, 'di ba? Pwede yan. But anyway, but then, I realized, oh yeah, but it's social media time, kilala or not. The hostile envy carrier will still make their envy felt. So ito na yung what they call, right? I think in social media terms, they're called the haters, the lurkers, and the trollers. So, the other one naman is depressed envy, where the success of others downs the individual emotionally. So, you never feel, you always, ito naman you have so much low self-esteem that when somebody within your peer group or within your colleague rank advances or moves up or succeeds or is happier than you, or diba, has more graces or blessings than you you feel like a victim, and feeling mo nothing good will ever happen to you. And when you always feel that, because your low self-esteem, you will end up being withdrawn, depressed and withdrawn. Okay? So, which one are you of the three? Are you the benign envy? Are you the hostile envy? Or are you the depressed envy? Or uh, are you someone who is depressed envy but somewhat also benign envy? Are you a hostile envy and a depressed envy at the same time? I don't think a hostile envy and some and half benign envy. Uh, I don't think there's a combination like that kasi hostile nga. And if ever man a hostile envy person would have a benign envy quality in him, baka mga 1 or 2% lang. So it's harder for them to work and get themselves to the other side, di ba? But siguro the good point lang there is if it exists 1 or 2%, there's hope. Di ba? There's hope that they want to be a better person. So it's gonna take maybe longer, di ba? But it can happen. You can move yourself from hostile envy, even if it's just if you're just 1 or 2% benign envy, move yourself to benign envy completely, diba? Or maybe move yourself to 90% benign envy or 98% benign envy and be left with 2% hostile envy. Kasi yung hostile envy na 2%, ako I think I'm part like this kasi but I do choose where I don't hostile envy those of my friends in Facebook. I just usually do this in newspaper articles. Doon ako nagiging. Pero, again, that I really deliberately, that's my outlet. Pag naiinis na ako, why are we like this? You know, people are not, parang, kunwari like sa COVID, diba? Tapos wala, hindi ko naman sila masabihan at mapagalitan or whatever because we are sensitive, diba, about it. So, when there's an article about COVID, doon, kung ano man yung article sa COVID, doon ko na lang nilalagay 2 cents worth to na hostile. Siguro hindi pala siya envy, hostile lang. But the thing is, and then ito pa, it's tactical. Siguro I do it 5 times or 6 times or 10 times a year. 24/7, I'm angry. Diba? I feel inis and banas sa mga pasaway na tao. Diba? Kaya lang, yun nga, they will not make my life better. So I don't make them in part of my kumbaga my story or my day. O, di ba? I don't make them part of that. So but I do make an outlet when there's an article. So kumbaga there's a proper forum for it. I look for a proper forum for that. But anyway, I also stopped that na. Why? Because even if I just do it 0.000000000000001% of my whole life, every single day of every single year of my whole life, I still don't like to surprise that my soul is perched on hostility or anger. So I wag na lang, 'di ba? I know that I can still make in my own way, 'di ba? Make the world a better place like this radio. So anyway, so if so ask yourself sorry, what's happening here? So now, why is this my topic? Why did envy catch my attention? I think, for me, I was looking for a topic and this word just popped up out of nowhere. I don't know why. I said, ano ba pag-uusapan ko dito? Then hinanap ko siya sa Psychology Today. What does Psychology Today say about envy? So this is, I found out there are 3 kinds pala. So anyway, but I think envy is one of the most misunderstood emotional triggers. Ayan, may good side ba dito? When I was learning to be happy, one of the self-discoveries I made was envy was a two-pronged choice. Diba? Para siyang crossroad all the time. It can either make us evil, diba? Or it can be used for good. So envy, for me, diba? If you look at, if we can really master it, diba? Master it meaning hindi siya yung nagde-define sa atin, but we are the one in charge of it, in control of it. We are the master of envy. Tayo yung sinusunod, 'di ba? Kumbaga, it can be a clue to it can be used for good. So envy is nothing, as I said, but a clue to what kind of do have we want from ourselves or from our lives. So for example, when we are hating someone who is better than us, let's say mas maganda siya, 'di ba? Sa'yo, feeling mo lang 'yun. Malay mo, 'di ba? Beauty is inside out nga daw. Mas maganda siya. Let's say kaklase mo siya and siya yung parating prom queen or muse or whatever. At inggit na inggit ka na. It means that we just want to it's not yung maganda siya na nagagalit ka. It means that we also want to feel beautiful, look pretty, be admired. Yun lang yun, 'di ba? Nothing else, kumbaga. But what makes it hard if you're a hostile envy is when you turn that when you despite of that acknowledgement, I also want to feel beautiful. I also want to feel loved and be admired and have many friends or be popular. We acknowledge that, and then we turn na-acknowledge na natin, nakita na, and then we turn it into a for bad. That's what makes it unacceptable, kumbaga. So, or for example, let's say there is ito, I think this other example that I'm going to give is, let's say, very, very common now. Let's say, you are envious of a famous person, and in this day and age, usually ang mga famous person are the vloggers, right? So it's not even, so ito, let me tell you, it's not the vlogger that we hate, but the fame we hate. It's actually wanting to have the same fame or admiring secret unknowingly their audacity or their courage or their determined spirit. So pag hinawi mo yung parang negative feelings of envy, tanggalin mo, ano ba yun? Ano ba, ba't ka naiinggit? Ano yung gusto mo doon? Look at it closely. And then if you know that I also want to be courageous, diba? I also want to be really good at expressing myself. I also want to be as fun as that vlogger. I also want to travel, experience traveling, like, or do food trips around the world. If we see that, if we work on the envy and take it apart, diba, and find instead the essence of what we really want out of that trigger situation, then we can learn and grow and use it as an opportunity to grow ourselves and grow ourselves towards the direction also of having courage or having audacity or having a determined spirit or being able to experience food tripping worldwide, diba? Or food blogging worldwide or traveling worldwide, then you can set yourself out in that direction, diba? Kasi, so parang pag actually, eto ha, envy, the opposite of that is, parang the other opposite for that is a secret admiration for whatever qualities or qualities that this trigger possess. How oxymoronic, di ba? Envy, tapos yun pala you admire. You admire, meaning, and admire is because it's something that can also fulfill you. So, 'di ba? So oxymoronic ang tawag natin doon. It's very ironic kasi parang paradoxical, so to speak. So anyway, so how can we talk about envy and equate it to admiration? Kumbaga, it is what it is. We just can't or don't know how to admit to ourselves why we are envy or that we are envious. Okay? We can't just admit to ourselves that others are better than us or that we are lesser than them. We also end up being envious because aside from not being able to admit that others are better than us or lesser than us, we also don't know how to set ourselves in the direction towards becoming also our own great person, our own great individual. So yun lang siya. So what do we do if we are in that situation? Inggitera tayo, na naging hostile na tayo, nararamdaman natin tayo na depressed envy tayo, and it's so, 'di ba? It's so toxic. Find an inspiration, okay? Look into the qualities or even the positive character or abilities that that person or that situation brings. Then, emulate, diba? And also make your own awesome version of it. Or as they call it, make your own brand of you. Whether you're gonna be a vlogger or what, or just or a real estate agent, or a network marketer, or a mom, right? Or a student, or a teacher, or an accountant, you can make your own brand about yourself hindi mo kailangan in front of the camera to show that, but what's important is alam mo kung ano yung nakainggitan mo, and you made bakit ka nainggit, and then you took those qualities and made it your develop them in yourself. So develop them in yourself, diba? So next thing, so aside from find inspiration, build your own. So once alam mo na yung qualities na yon, di ba, and you decide, okay, I want to make myself a better version, build it. Work inside out. Kasi if you only do shallow version, it will collapse and you will again go back to either being hostile or depressed envy. Depressed envy. And I don't have to remind anyone that it's toxic and harmful to you, not just to the other person, di ba? It's harmful to you and also harmful to your personal happiness in the long run, personal healthy happiness in the long run. Lastly, enjoy the process of becoming. So if you are doing the process of being the best version of yourself, alam mo na yung qualities. You want to be beautiful, you want to be famous, you also want to be courageous, you want to be audacious, you want to have a determined spirit, diba? You want to be entertaining, you want to experience traveling also. Enjoy the process of and once you put yourself out in that path, enjoy the process of becoming. And if I may add, be patient, because no one becomes there. They're great. Do have overnight. Tama? Tama. So again, it's already 8 p.m. So I'm gonna hit our episode comes to a close. So that's a wrap for our topic today on envy. But here's my message. I want to put out there. Envy is insidious, and like a malignant emotional tumor, it can continue to grow if we do not understand how it can be a teacher of greatness for us all, or to us all. No one wins by defeating. No one wins with the self-defeating envies, diba? But we can thrive and be an inspiration even when we know how. But we can thrive and be an inspiration when we know how to turn it around for something good or something greater. So that is my message. Kung envious kayo, feel uncomfortable, but kung kayo yung inggitera, 'di ba? Determine nyo anong klaseng inggitera kayo and what kind of inggitera you want to be. 'Di ba? Do you want to be the benign inggitera or inggitero where you can turn yourself around and be a source of genuine inspiration, authentic inspiration and greatness? Okay? So it's 7:59. I want to make a special shout out to my Junakis who will be celebrating his birthday soon, 'di ba? So syempre kami ni Father kami ni Father mo and your family will always love you. Okay? And will always support you. So, many blessings to you and many graces. And I hope makuha mo yung Star Trek animation project na yan. Okay? So anyway, this is DJ Chin. And I'm saying happy winds end. Happy weekend, get it? Happy winds end and a more empowering week ahead to everyone. See you again next Saturday. And I'm saying good night and annyeongsayo.
The views and comments of the hosts and guests are not necessarily those of the